Yeah, no, I mean, our exit plan was basically to, stay here until it's no longer fun. I mean, it's kind of, and, when you're the boss, there's not too many situations where you could make an excuse that it was someone else's fault that you weren't having fun. So, I guess we've always been in it to sort of build a business that's going to be around sort of longer than we are. Our original goal, when we started, we didn't have any lofty goals. Our original goal, was a lot of our people graduating from university were earning $48,500 was the graduate salary at PwC in 2002, and we basically said, well, we want to earn $48,500, but not work for in a suit and have much more fun. So we didn't really start with grand plans, and we really just had the idea that we wanted to build something and have fun doing it. And then over time, I guess, as you grow, you sort of look at what impact you're going to have on the world. I mean, we sell products that help other people be more productive, whether that's developing software or collaborating with their colleagues, either next door or, across the ocean, or, reviewing code. So kind of we help companies collaborate better. And I sort of view a few ways that we help them. One is that we can kind of lead the way and show them new ways of doing business, which is kind of rewarding when you see, small companies and sort of often big companies who had struggled in this area, right? Struggle to sort of take on new techniques or try new tools, and they can adopt our tool relatively inexpensively, and suddenly that whole company is operating at a different level. That's really rewarding. And so as long as there's ways that we can improve like our customers like that, then we'll keep building more products and hopefully helping those guys. So I guess our goal is to kind of keep building awesome products. I started at Atlassian out of university, so I've never had a full-time paid position. I've never sort of been on a salary, and it was tough then. We didn't pay ourselves much, for the first 2 years. Actually, we kind of lived on basically I got a scholarship to university. You had to work for part of that, and so we sort of kept paying ourselves scholarship rates for the first 2 years until we built the business. And I don't know. I think it gets harder as you get older. I think that the best time to start a business is today. It's the old sort of proverb, right? The Japanese proverb. The best time best time to plant a bonsai was 20 years ago, and the second best time is today.
Yeah.
And so I think that there's never a good time to start a business. And I've got a lot of friends who've started businesses on the side or in their spare time, and they've never really gone anywhere. I think to really build a successful business or even one that you're passionate about, you kind of need to jump in with 2 feet. And the best time to take big risks in life is when you're as young as possible, when you don't have a family and you hopefully don't have a mortgage or anything like that. So the downside risk for me was I had to go back and live with my parents again. And that's not for some people that may be terrible, but for me it wasn't that bad. There's a few lessons that I guess keep coming back and hitting me in the head. I don't know if you ever really learned them, but first one is saying no to things. The world is full of opportunities and things you could be doing, and it takes a very disciplined person to say no. And the most successful people that I know, at least, are very, very good at saying no to opportunities that aren't exactly what they're passionate about or going to be successful at. So I think say no more often. Secondly, you can't be understated is people. At all stages of the business, people matter, and every couple of weeks I sort of wake up and remind myself that that's another problem that needs to be solved by hiring great people or making sure we have good people in the right position. So be very careful with who you hire as your first employees, because that's important. Probably my third one is then culture. Getting those first employees set up, not only if they're good or not and how successful you're going to be, they kind of set the corporate culture. It doesn't matter whether you go to 10 people or 100 people or 1,000 people. I think it's those first, 10 or 20 people, are going to really set up what is your company all about. And so you want to make sure that you hire people that, who go role models. And I think at Atlassian, we've actually had a lot of our early employees who stuck around for many, many years, and I think we've done a good job of choosing them. We took on some investment for Excel after running Atlassian for about 8 years. Okay. For us, that was the right time, and we chose to take on money, really to take the business kind of to the next stage, I guess, towards an IPO or a listing, and building on board members and bringing on a more seasoned management team, and sort of really professionalise the business was the reason we brought on investors. And I realise all the businesses aren't as in the same situation that they can delay investment for 8 years. But I guess my advice for investment is, again, culture. Choose investors that are aligned culturally. Choose investors who can add things to the business, right? So I think dumb money, when there's smart money out there to be got, why would you choose dumb money? In the negotiations, as much as possible, try and sit in the other person's shoes and give away as much as possible. Work out what's important to you, whether it's valuation or ownership or control or those types of things, and work out what's important and sort of give away some of the rest. And ultimately, if things go well, then they'll be with you for 5 to 10 years, and you want to choose someone that you get along with and you get off on the right foot with. That said, if you can at all bootstrap your business, if you believe in yourself and you can bootstrap it, maybe work another 6 months and work 2 jobs to save up enough money to then jump in with 2 feet. I think you end up with a lot more, ownership and control, and you're spending your own money, which makes you probably just a little bit more reticent to waste it, I guess. So, I'd advise if you can get as long as possible without investors, I'd suggest to do that. Key companies these days are often starting with 2 designers. Once upon a time, it was starting with 2 programmers, and they built the first product. And these days, we're seeing more that you get 2 designers, and they can outsource the product development, overseas or to a development team. So, if I had to choose a co-founder, I think 1 technical and 1 designer is probably a really good mix these days. Yeah, that's a really good question. We've been pretty lucky that we've never really had any screaming, fighting matches or anything like that. We've never really had an argument. And I think that is just complete respect for the other person's viewpoint. And I like to say we kind of have 80% overlap in sort of our skill sets and so forth, but it's the 20% where we don't agree that's actually valuable. If that didn't exist, then why's the other person there? So, when there's disagreement, it's actually, okay, well, hang on, this other person has a great viewpoint, let's think about it. And often we'll delay decisions because when neither of us can agree on something, we often find there's actually a better third alternative that presents itself after sort of more discussion. So, for us, my advice is just go find the smartest person that and convince them that, they want to give half their company to you. Yeah, that's a really good question. And we're always hiring with people, especially people who potentially, maybe do want to start a business or understand a technology business, but don't really have the risk, maybe, the risk profile. They don't want to go out on their own to do that, or they want to, learn from someone before they do on their own. So the things that we look for people is passion. Probably first and foremost, is are they passionate about what they do? Because there's plenty of people that sort of phone it in every day, or passionate about photography, but freelancing as a developer. Like, what I want is someone who kind of basically wake up in the morning and think, how can I finish coding, or how can I finish my design, or how can I do my job every day, and they're absolutely passionate about it. 2 is cultural fit, which is sort of hard to define until you sort of meet someone and see are they the right fit, do they have the right attributes? But broadly things look for again, being humble, being outgoing, can they present well, are they, do they question things? There's a whole bunch of cultural things that fit the Atlassian culture, that we look for as well. So they're probably the two main ones, we look for.